we're at the trailhead of the Horseshoe Bend. We remember seeing signs for Arizona being in like different time zones and things like that. We need to be somewhere at a certain time, and that hour would cost us the Antelope Canyon, basically, that we've paid tickets for. When it became 9 o'clock as we were driving, it then suddenly became 10 o'clock. We called the tour operator in Antelope Canyon. All this problem is basically solved with one question, basically, which was, what's the time? So we asked what's the time, and she said it was an hour behind. So I was like, oh, okay. We're gonna drive like 8 minutes to Antelope Canyon after this, and the clocks are gonna go back. So we gotta leave here at 12 o'clock, and we're gonna travel back in time for the Antelope Canyon. So naturally, because of timing is quite tight, it caused us a little bit of stress this morning to know what's going on. I was a lot more stressed than Lance was because I wasn't so sure, but apparently Lance was sure all the time. So
never in doubt.
So anyway, putting that all aside, we're on the trailhead of the Horseshoe Bend, which is pretty iconic. Sweet.
Doing well.
Nice.
Doing well then.
Right. We'll speak to you when we get there. Right, so we're at the Horseshoe Bend, just taking some photos, trying to get the money shot. Seems like the further out you go, the quieter it is, and the better it is to find an opportunity to take a photo when there's no one around. The most busiest part is as soon as you arrive, like everyone's just there. So you don't really need that much time, in my opinion. It's kind of here, literally, it is literally just to get a photo, just to kind of say, oh, you've been here. Further east, the Colorado River looks, a lot cleaner. There's like lots of different rocks that kind of jut out. The land's pretty flat and very, very vast.
Pretty amazing, though, isn't it?
Nice.
Amazing how it was.
Right, so we're just walking back to our car, and as you can see behind me how busy it is. The view is actually not as good. It's better to go round the corner where there's a lot less people. Much easier to take photos and stuff. The walk from the car park is just like a 10-minute walk, so you don't need to allocate that much time. It's also really close to Page City, is that right? Page Town, which is where you do the Antelope Canyon. So I think because they're quite close by, I think it'd be quite common or quite good to do like a combo, which is go to the Horseshoe first, and then go straight to the Antelope Canyon, which is like I said earlier, it's like an 8-minute drive. Try to get the slot, the 12 o'clock slot, which is important because that's when you get the holy light shining down into the Antelope Canyon. That's the only slot, I think, where you can get that lighting. So it works really well to do this first in the morning and then go straight to Antelope afterwards. Yeah, hope that was helpful. Okay, so we've arrived into Page. We're outside Antelope Canyon and we're late. It's 12:30, but it's supposed to be 11:30, I think. To be fair, I don't even know what time it is. I think we're gonna go in there and say, what's the time, please? Moment of truth. Yeah. It says 11:35. Looks like we're gonna make it. So we've just arrived at the hole, the Antelope Canyon gaping hole that we're just going to be walking through to try and find the money shot photo. This is a fully guided tour. I don't think you're allowed to do it by yourself. So yeah, exciting times ahead. Right, so just finished the Antelope Canyon. What did you think of it, Lance?
Yeah, a little bit underwhelming. Felt a bit rushed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Felt a bit rushed. Hard to get any individual photos.
Yeah, there's always a group right ahead of us and a group right behind us. And there's like our group as well, and it's quite small, right? So there's always people around. It's really hard to get a good shot. We did the upper Antelope Canyon, right? And by the way, that really signature shot of the beam of light is caused by someone shoveling dust or dirt up into the air.
So you can never get in a photo with it, could you?
Yeah, and you're not allowed to be in the photo because, I don't know, I don't know. I thought from the pictures it just always looked like that and you can just go there and take a photo. but you can't, basically, and he says you're not allowed. I think of the whole canyon, there's only maybe a couple of spots at the beginning where it was the brightest, where you can take a nice photo, because most of it's quite dim, and when it's quite dim, the photo quality is really poor. It's really, really pixelated, which is probably another reason if you do this tour, it's best to do it the time we did it, maybe, because it's the brightest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all the photos are really bad because it's really dark, right? And so, and you're not allowed flash or anything. Yeah, having said that, I mean, yeah, it's very rushed. It's, yeah, would you say it's worth it? I mean, it's all right. It is sort of one of a kind, you know, having that background.
Yeah,
but
it is what it is, really, isn't it?
yeah. All right, USA, USA.